Hey guys, I'm that Lego YouTuber with an animal in his name. No, not that one, the other one. The one that puts effort into his videos. Yeah, that one. The one who rarely posts videos and rarely makes figures on time. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is the Wolf of Lego, which is still a really cringy opening to my videos, but it's what I say and I'm just gonna go with it. How you guys doing? It's been a while once again, but I finally finished some figures, so let's just jump right to it. This is my second installment into my custom Lego Indiana Jones figure series. I've decided to make figures from all the Indiana Jones films, which you guys knew last year. So I finally made some figures for Temple of Doom, the second installment into the Indiana Jones franchise, which is technically a prequel. You can look it up for yourself. Temple of Doom has to be probably my third favorite film. My first being Raiders, second being Last Crusade, and then Temple of Doom. As a kid, it was my favorite film because it had the most action. And watching it now, the opening's a little weird.
Anything goes.
I don't exactly know what happened to the stage, but it gets a little weird, and then who the fuck are you, and why the fuck should I care that you died?
I go first, Indy.
But the rest of the movie's really good. There's a couple iffy bits here and there, but overall, I like the movie. It's one of my favorites, and I decided to make some figures from it. So I got 5 figures here this time around. I know for Raiders, I did a couple more than 5, but rewatching the film, there really wasn't that many that stood out to me, unlike Raiders, where I was like, oh, I want to make that one and that one and that one. For this, it was kind of like, I don't want to make you, and I don't want to make you, I don't want to make you. I want to make all you, so I made these guys, and I'm pretty happy with them. So we got Indiana Jones in his temple escape outfit, I guess you could say. Willie Scott in her sacrificial outfit. Short Round in his outfit he wears for most of the movie. The Chief Thuggy Guard, and Malaram, who is blurry in the back because I can't seem to get him in focus. So, yeah, had a lot of fun making these figures. Finally glad to have some figures done. This year has not been great for me at all. This year has fucking sucked. But yeah, I am filming, one positive this year, I guess, is I am filming on a brand new camera. I got myself a EOS Rebel SL2 Canon camera. Really, really cool camera. I'm still working, figuring out how to work it and all that, so please excuse any bad footage from me trying to figure out how to run the damn thing. The body of the camera was around $600. The kit I bought was around $700. So pretty expensive camera. And I just bought a car. Fuck me. But yeah, so without further ado, let's go into a full close-up 360 on all these minifigures. So the first figure we're going to start with is Indiana Jones in his, like I said, I guess temple escape outfit. I really don't know if this outfit has a particular name, but it's just more or less his worn out outfit by the end of the movie, because he gets most of his outfit destroyed throughout the movie, and that's the outfit that's most iconic with this movie, so I decided to make that one, and I'm pretty happy with how this turned out. Definitely probably my favorite figure out of this whole bunch. I like this Indiana Jones a lot more than the one I made for Raiders. I just don't like the jacket for the one on Raiders, so eventually when I get the Last Crusade, I'll hopefully make a better jacket and be more happy with that. So first off, we'll go over his accessories like I usually do with my figures. I try to get the accessories out of the way first. So we have his machete here. This is made out of a Brick Arms machete from the Brick Arms line of accessories. So what I did was I shaved the blade down to be more in line with the handle, and modified the handle quite a bit as well. Gave the blade a nice chrome look. Same kind of technique I did for Captain Phasma. So if you guys want to know exactly how I did that, go watch my Last Jedi video. I go into more detail of how to get this kind of nice chrome finish. The top of the handle is in gold, the middle of the handle is in brown, the bottom is in silver, and yeah, pretty happy with that. And let me just move that out of the way so we can look at the rest of the minifigure. Now the whip is the same kind of design, I guess, I did for the whip for my first figure, and that being I used a samurai sword, ninja sword, katana handle, and I cut off the blade and the hilt. Then I sculpted Procreate around the bottom and top, made a little loop out of E-tape. The whip itself is out of some Christmas wire, that I got. It's just some thin, flexible wire. So actually the whip is still somewhat posable. Like I can actually bend it into the shapes I want. It's actually pretty cool. And that is rolled in Procreate. It's a lot smoother than the last one. Really happy with it. And it's more in a flowing motion, so I can get some nice whip poses. So let me just take that out of his hand here. Yeah. And then as you can see moving around here, he does have the satchel like I did for last time. That being I sculpted the bag out of Procreate. And then the straps going all the way around the minifigure are made out of E-tape, and I'm pretty happy with how that turned out. Alright, so this time around for Indy's face, I wanted to do the stubble a bit different from the last one. This stubble is more in line with my Officer K from Blade Runner 2049. It's a lot more little strands of hair instead of just actual dots like Lego does. I like this a lot more. It is just as tedious, but I think it's a better result in the end. As you can see, I did paint on all the different bruises and cuts he gets throughout the movie. This is just using a Han Solo head from New Hope. The hat is a Mutt Williams Indiana Jones fedora hat hair combo like I did for the last one. So essentially what you do is you sand a Mutt Williams hair to align with the hat, and then you just kind of glue it together, fill in the gaps with Procreate, and so you can essentially make it one piece so it's removable, and you have that hair with the hat. So pretty happy with that. So let me real quick remove the bag so we can take a look at the rest of the torso real quick here. Let's just say real quick a bunch of times because I seem to like to repeat myself in my videos. Sorry about that. I'm pretty bad at that. But yeah, so the torso was painted by me. This is designed after Lego's torso that they made for Indiana Jones a while back when the sets originally came out. So essentially, you know, I just copied it onto my own torso and my own brown color, and then I did spray it with some sealant because I didn't want the problem with my last figure is my bag was scratching off the paint. So I decided to put some sealant on it. I also put sealant on the side of the torso so the color does match all the way around. Then you can see on the back here we do have all the whip marks from when he gets whipped by the Thuggy. Then we have his sleeveless arm with some more blood and bruises, and we have some bandages around his hand there. Those are also painted in tan, and the shirt is ripped on the side there. So I really like how that turned out. And then we have the cuff kind of open on this side of the arm there, back there. You can see that. And then you got a bit of E-tape up here to be this little shoulder strap, or I think that's what it is. Yeah. And then the belts of the figure are made of E-tape, like I did last time. A bit better this time around. I did actually make the little loop where he holds the whip. Pretty happy with that. And the bit of the belt here is actually 3D this time around, which is pretty cool. The holster is the same kind of thing I did last time. In the sense it's Procreate, the little straps or whatnot, like the fold flap, is E-tape. Then there is a magnet on the holster and the leg, which allows the leg to move freely without catching on the holster or anything like that. The boots here, or the shoes, are just a lighter brown that do continue on to the inside of the legs, with the soles painted in gray, and then we have the rip in the pants there. Before we move on here, I did make one of the Shankar Stones, one of the 3 Shankar Stones. Technically there's 5 in the lore of the movie anyway. So essentially how I made this is I used one of those translucent orange little cap things. I think that's actually what they used in the original sets. That's kind of, yeah, they did. And I extended the bottom by cutting another one. I essentially wanted to use a trans orange piece so I can kind of make it glow if I hit it with the right lighting. So essentially, if you hit it just right, it kind of glows. It's not the best because the paint is a lot more matted, but it kind of glows in the right type of lighting. So I kind of wanted to try to pull that off. I didn't do it phenomenally, but it's okay. I at least wanted to make one of the artifacts from the movie, because one of my problems with my Raiders of the Lost Ark figures, I didn't make the Ark or the Staff of Ra or anything really like that. So definitely wanted to make one of the Shankar Stones. And yeah, that's about it for the Shankar Stone and Indy in general, so we'll move on to our next figure. So our second minifigure here is Short Round. Hey, Dr. Jones, no time for love! So Short Round is a fan favorite character. By far, some people say he's the best Indy sidekick. Mine still is Sala. I like Sala a lot more than Short Round. I still like Short Round a lot. And I don't know the actor's name who plays him, but he's also in the Goonies and whatnot. He's hilarious. So making Short Round, of course, I was going to do some shortened legs. legs, like I've done before with Laura from Logan, sorry, and Rocket Raccoon from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. And Lego has recently announced with their new Harry Potter figures is they are making some form of short legs. So I'll be interested to see exactly what they're doing there, and if I actually might not be doing this in the future and be using some actual official Lego legs. So that should be pretty cool. But yeah, so I've been pretty good at getting this short leg thing down. I think I go into more detail in my Logan video. Maybe I'll do a tutorial one of these days. If you guys want to know how to make a short minifigure like I do, let me know in the comments down below. Maybe I'll do a tutorial because I can't really get into it right now. But Short Run doesn't have any accessories. I did have him holding the Shankar Stone at the beginning of the video, but he really doesn't have anything that like he holds or uses throughout the movie, so I didn't decide to give him anything. So we have his Yankee hat with the Yankee symbol painted on there. Really happy with how this turned out. The symbol was actually really easy to do. It was just getting these lines right, and I'm still not really happy with these lines on the back of the hat. I'm sure you guys don't really care, but for me, I just feel like I could have done them better. But I painted it in white, then I gave it kind of I dirtied it up a little bit. The bill of the hat I made a bit flatter than what Lego had. I just used a Mutt Williams hairpiece and did the whole, connecting them to make them, essentially one piece. So I can remove it, put it back on. I think the hair should be longer because Short Round's hair is a little longer. He does have some bangs that come down, so I could easily do that a little better in the future if I ever want to revisit this figure. So the head is just kind of based off of what Lego did for the original Short Round head. But what Lego did was a little weird. They had like these lines going down the center of his face. I don't honestly know why they did that, and I didn't really like how that looked. So I haven't really painted any Asian looking characters like ever. So I looked at what Lego had done in the past, or recently anyway, and I looked at the Rogue One figures they did for Chirrut and Baze Malbus, and they kind of put these little black lines on the side of the eyes, and it looks pretty Asian to me, and it pulls up that kind of Asian look to the eyes, and I think it works out pretty well. So I decided to do that, and I think it works. And then the smile I just copied from the Lego head because I always remember that being very iconic with the Short Round minifigure, and I kind of wanted to copy that over. So alright, so then the rest of the minifigure, his jacket here, is painted in dark tan, and then all those gray lines I painted on there for whatever reason. Don't ask me why. I just decided to do it because I noticed they were on there. I really didn't need to, but the end result's pretty cool. I like it a lot. So, you can see all those are on the arms. They're on the inside of the arms, as you can see. On both sides of the arms, right there. And then we have the pockets on the front with the buttons that are kind of on the front there as well. Not really happy with how the buttons turned out, but they're okay. Then the jacket does continue to the top of the torso. I did not continue the gray lines up there because I got lazy. And then on the inside here we have his little tank top with some lines painted on there. Not really important because the jacket does cover it up for the most part. I wasn't able to put a layer of sealant, so the skin tone doesn't really match with the rest of the minifigure. Well, that's okay. Then the short legs, as you can see, we do have the pants pulled up, so you can see his legs sticking out there, and then his shoes are painted all the way around. They do continue onto the inside legs. He is still posable, which I like to try to keep with my figures. I like to be able to pose them for photos and all that. But yeah, that's about it for Short Round. There's not much to go over with this guy. So yeah. Alright, so our next figure here is our next figure for the love of God, will you shut the fuck? Yeah, but so this minifigure is probably my least favorite out of the whole bunch, just because I really think I could have done better. My favorite part of this figure by far is the face and hair. That's it. So this hairpiece is from the Lego Ghostbusters sets. I believe that's what it's from. I think it's from the Dana minifigure. So her face here is based off of this picture. If you guys recognize this Lego head from somewhere, please let me know. But I liked how it looked. It got that nice scream look to it. And all she does in the movie is scream. So I decided, hey, why not just make her screaming? So the rest of the minifigure here, as you can see, essentially when I started this figure, the legs, the arms, and the torso were all a flesh color. Then I painted on the top here, based off of what Lego had done before. I painted on all the little silver dots onto all the white parts of the figure. Now, one part that I wish I did attempt, but I never got around to it, was on the torso here. There's the silver here that kind of outlines the whole thing. There's supposed to be a pattern there. Lego had it on their original print, and I didn't even attempt it. I think I should have, because it would have made the minifigure a lot better. I really like how my Marion figure turned out from Raiders of the Lost Ark, and I feel like I could have done something similar with this one, and I just didn't, and I think I should have. The back here, ignore the head. I didn't paint dots there because essentially the hair covers it. I really probably didn't even need to paint the back. And then the legs down here, as you can see, are we got the little belts going on, and these probably would have been done better. I think they essentially need a tiny silver dot in between each silver dot, but they're okay. Like, they work. They do their purpose. I just feel like I could have done them better. And then we got little sandals painted on there. And those do continue onto the inside of the legs as well. That's the same with the dots. And yeah, that's about it for Willie Scott. There isn't much more to go over with this minifigure. She does her purpose well, but I feel like I could have made a much better figure if I spent a little more time adding some more detail. So our second to last minifigure here is the Chief Thuggy. So this guy was a lot of fun to make. While making him, I felt like I was making a pirate for whatever reason, with all these straps and sashes and whatnot. And I think this guy turned out great. So following the same that I did for the German mechanic from my first wave of Indiana Jones figures, I essentially wanted to improve upon the muscle sculpt I did for this guy, because this was my first time really trying something like that, and it worked out okay. But this time around, I think I did a much better job with the pecs area, and especially with the back there. So especially the front in general, I really like how that turned out. A lot better than last time. So I mixed up some paint to match with Lego's skin tone of their, I don't actually know what this skin tone's called, so excuse me for not knowing off the top of my head, but I think I was able to match it pretty well. So I'm pretty happy with how this face turned out, especially the mustache and the beard. I was having a rough time trying to get this beard right. I do think the colors are a bit too apparent. I think they should kind of fade into each other a little bit better, but I'm pretty happy with the smile and just the overall look of this guy. The turban on his head also turned out really nice. As you can see, I sculpted this out of Procreate. The top is a little sketchy. It was like midnight, and I was kind of pressing into it with an X-Acto knife, and I was just like, I'm too tired for this, so excuse the really shitty top, but I think the front is the most important part, and I got that down pretty well. It is still removable. Like most of my things I make, I like to be able to take them apart and whatnot. So moving down onto the figure, as you can see on the torso, all the black parts of the belts and whatnot are made out of E-tape. They were painted in a matte black and then outlined in a dark gray. The little knife that's sheathed in there is made out of bits of Procreate. It's not the best. I really think I could have done that better. The belt buckle here looks like one of those Dora the Explorer stars. It's pretty funny looking. It's supposed to look like a demon face or something like that, or like an angry monkey, and I did my best. Then you can see on the side here we do have a little loop to sheath a sword. Then the back here you can see we have some more straps with some more sculpting for the muscles and whatnot. Pretty happy with how this turned out in general. Then the arms here, as you can see, we have some more muscles, a bit of that kind of like fur that's kind of wrapped around the bicep there. Then we have some E-tape wrapped around the cuffs, and the same can be said on this side. And then we have like the red markings on both sides, 3 stripes in total. The legs and arms are both extended on this minifigure. If you want to figure out how to do that, there's a really good tutorial on Legomatic 9's channel. Just look for his tutorial playlist, where he goes over how to extend the legs. Then the Moose Figs has done a tutorial on the arms before. I don't exactly know, just look up extending Lego arms, Moose Figs, and you'll probably find it. But the legs are pretty simple here. You can see we got boots and then some some wrinkles to make his pants, and he's just a happy fellow. I wanted to make him happy, just like this guy, so they can kind of pair up together. I definitely like this one a lot more, and like I said, he's like like an Indian pirate, and just had a lot of fun making him. So definitely one of my favorite figures I've made this year. I love the fact that when this movie came out, it was just a PG. Isn't that hilarious? For the amount of violence that's in this movie. Like, that's just great. But our last minifigure here, we got Malaram in his ceremonial robes, I guess you could call it. So Malaram was fun to make. I had a lot of fun making this guy. So as you can see, his accessory here is a burning heart. Isn't that nice? So I made this burning heart out of Procreate, sculpted into his hands, added some bits of fat hanging off there, made his hand all nice and bloody, took some Lego fire pieces and just kind of cut them off and glued them on to the top of the heart. And yeah, really happy with how this turned out. Granted, it does not remove out of his hand. I was originally going to use some magnets and all that, but I just decided against it in the end. And yeah, so then his face here is just kind of based off of when he's kind of cackling like a maniac and holding the heart while it's on fire. I decided to do that because I was going to make him with the heart anyway, and I was just like, I know he kind of just smiles throughout the movie or looks really stern, but I wanted to have him with the heart regardless, so that's what I went with. And I can always repaint or make another head. So then, probably a nice highlight of the minifigure, another highlight, is his cow skull mask hat thing here. This was interesting to make. So this is all made out of Procreate. The base of it is Procreate. There's nothing at the bottom of it. And I really like how this turned out. I think I did a pretty good job. So I made the horns pretty symmetrical with one another. Then you can see we have the sockets of the cow skull. I did not make any teeth by the jaw piece here that kind of goes on the outside of his face. Then we have the three little horns on the top with the little demonic face up there. Sculpted that out of Procreate. Then I sculpted on all the hair on the back. You can see my fingerprints in there. It's not the best there, but yeah. So this is still removable because I did actually paint on his kind of what would you call it? Just his I guess you could just say war paint. I was gonna say war paint. It's just makeup on his head. So that does wrap all the way around like it should. It does kind of chip off when I put the hat on here, but the thing is, I layered it with some sealant. But I'm gonna be displaying it with the hat regardless. So like I said, I can always make another head. So I'm not too worried about that. So the rest of Malaram here is just made out of some Cape Madness materials. We have a Cape Madness trench coat, which I cut and shaped exactly how I wanted it. Then I took some more Cape Madness material to make this little bit here. It's kind of like it's hard to nail down exactly how his robes fit him. That was a lot of this was just trying to see how it worked and how it flowed around him. So that was interesting. Then you can see on his torso there, I do have the teeth, the necklace made of teeth, whatever you want to say. Those are sculpted out of Procreate on a piece of string, and then we have his other necklace down there, and those just kind of are glued onto the robes themselves. Then we do have the little painted 3 lines there with some straps, and then this fabric robe is covering some more straps that are on there. So this fabric robe piece that kind of goes from here, wraps all the way around, and then goes up the torso, and then down the back. That is all made from a Lego pirate ship sail. I did the same thing I did for Rey for The Last Jedi, and essentially just traced it out with some pen and paper, or pencil and paper, and then just cut it out and shaped it how I wanted it. So yeah, really happy with how Malaram turned out. Definitely one of my favorite figures that I've made this year. Alright, that's going to be it for this video. I'm going to readjust this real quick here. There we go. That's better. But yeah, that's about it for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all for your patience. I know it's been a while once again. I probably said that quite a bit in this video, especially in the opening. But I would say these figures take a while to make, but that isn't true. They're actually pretty quick to make if I actually sit down and do it. This year has just been total dog shit for me anyway, and I haven't had a lot of time to make these guys. They've been pushed back and pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, but I finally got around to finishing them. And yeah, so one announcement real quick. I will be attending Brick Fair Virginia 2018, my 5th Brick Fair in a row. So if you are going to be in Virginia and if you are attending Brick Fair, definitely come by and say hello. I will be in the pop culture section. I will be wearing my hat. I will be around all the other customizers that you know. But yeah, I will be there. So definitely come by and say hi, see my work in person. I'll be wearing my hat, so I'll be pretty easy to spot. And don't be afraid to say hello. I'd love to meet you guys. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Don't forget to follow me on Flickr, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm going to wrap this up because my camera battery light is flashing. So yeah, on Instagram, you'll be able to see photos ahead of time before you see them over here or any figures in general. Thank you all so much for watching. God bless you, people of justice. May the force be with you always. And I will see you guys later. Bye-bye. You know, essentially I'm going to burn something by accident one of these times because playing with fire is dangerous.
I've lost all of my pride. I've been to paradise and out the other side.